I'll give him his props. You know what I'm saying? Kane the wrestler, I'm gonna always give him his props because first of all, Bad Blood is where he fucking debuted.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always give him his props there because he legitimately had one of the best debuts.
That's gotta be Kane.
And then you came to find out that nigga was fucking taller than the Undertaker. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Right. I thought this was your baby brother. What the?
Yeah.
He bigger than you, dog. I thought this was your baby brother.
My little brother bigger than my little brother bigger than me.
The big little brother, you mean?
Yeah, my big little brother. He bigger than me. He taller than me. I'm like that. It'd be like that.
It'd be like that. But at the same time, Kane's size difference with the Undertaker, with him being a big ass motherfucker himself, was not very assuring.
It's like this nigga is towering over the Undertaker. Oh,
and you want to know what's even better? Right after that event, you know what else? So he had his debut on Raw the night before, the night after, and guess who the fuck he squashed? The motherfucking Hardy Boys, both of them. They was real young too. It was 1997.
You're right.
Yeah, it was 1997. So these were the young.
They were new.
They were new. You know what I'm saying?
Still wet behind the ears, new.
Yeah, like so. I feel like the Hardy Boys, when they get to their Hall of Fame, they're probably gonna give Kane some thanks because he like fucking squashed them.
But then there's also the feud that they were involved in with Lita, and Lita's supposed to be having his baby and all of that shit.
Oh yeah, him and fucking Snitsky, bruh.
You punted the baby.
You punted the baby. Hey, no, he did punt the fuck out of that baby. He punted the fuck out.
Man.
That shit landed in like the back row. He fucking kicked the shit out of that motherfucker.
I don't care what anyone says. That shit is one of the funniest moments in WWE because I don't know if that was supposed to be like, but we all knew it was a fake baby. So,
and I'm like, so what the fuck you gonna do with a real baby? And then what I didn't appreciate is that they gave the nigga a foot fetish angle, and I'm like, bruh.
Oh my god!
I had to eat that, Ray. I had to take that for the team.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to take that.
I fucking had to take that for the team. Fucking Snitsky.
We need to do intro. We need to start this episode.
We already did, nigga. This is it right here.
Oh yeah,
this McMahon will never fucking live down for his crimes. His crimes against humanity must be answered for.
Yo,
Dion don't remember. I used to start my cold opens with just having regular conversation, and then we just get into.
Yeah, because this is bro.
I know, but we've been talking for a good while, and you've been starting to lie.
This is Vince McMahon we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah, this is how I used to start.
That's besides the point.
That's not besides the point. This man is shaking the hands of Satan, his motherfucking self.
Yo.
Am I wrong?
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I'm your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
Shout out to all the wrestlers out there.
He touched my pecker.
Oh God.
Fucking Pat Patterson, god damn it. And we also have Dion.
Hey yo, Bad Blood was lit. If you haven't watched it yet, get on Peacock and give that a look.
Yeah, I gotta get Peacock from my homeboy Tony because I thought I had it on this phone and I didn't, but it's on my other phone, which don't work no more. And
man, DM me. I'll help you out. DM me.
We'll tell it. But other than that, how y'all been?
Good.
Chilling. You already knew my situation from yesterday, so we
yeah.
I ain't get home till like fucking 3 a.m.
I forgot that.
I've never heard of anyone doing a funeral that late at night.
We
No, it's
are
not that.
Africans,
It's not
Dion.
that. Africans, it's an all day thing.
No, it's not even. It's not even an all day thing. We just have because think of it like this, right? So because we come from like different areas of the world, not everybody who wants to pay respects has the ability to. So we have multiple funerals in like multiple places. So we had people actually fly out from Africa, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that, in order to like pay their respects. We had like chiefs there and shit. And another thing too, the reason why they run so late is simply just due to the fact that that's a good time where everybody can come in.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to say Panamanians do the same because when my I think I don't know if I should call it was my grandfather's brother. I'm gonna say grand uncle. I'm just say
Yeah, your granduncle.
Yeah, my grand uncle died, and a lot of people from Panama, because like my grandparents are Panamanian, both of them. I saw a lot of family from Panama that and that was an all day thing, and there was people I've never seen before and shit. So, and that was like and it was good meeting them, and but yeah, everybody came, and then like there was people who didn't know us, and my I had my grandfather's name, so like there was people that didn't know us. It's like, who are you? I was like, oh, that's Raymond's grandchildren. It was like, oh, it was like my grandfather was a big deal. But it was an all day thing, and it was in New York too. It was an all day fucking thing.
Yeah, them New York Panamanians don't fuck around either.
Yeah.
What's his name? Pop Smoke is Panamanian.
Yeah.
Who you telling? My pops is Panamanian. Who you telling?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dion, you also, you told me that one time, and I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Shout out to all my Panamanian brothers and sisters.
Y'all, because Panamanian African blood is strong as fuck. Yeah, I probably have like some of the strongest African like renditions in Central America. So,
that explains why That probably explains why Panamanians and blacks get along so goddamn well.
Yes, because y'all
most
have
of them come from Jamaica too.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of African blood in there. Some people. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all right, let's get on with the show. And I didn't put this down, but I just saw this, and honestly, I want to do it after party on this one day, especially with you, Father, since we're both into fighting games. Did you ever see this debate with Mena Ardi and Justin Wong?
I did not. I've seen it on my timeline, but I've never like watched it.
Okay, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but this is one of the things. This is one of the joys, and I think we've had discussions about this, but I'm gonna just let the video play. Then I want you to give your thoughts.
Still goes to the old school versus the new school. Older tournaments versus newer tournaments. With everything that we've just put on the table, the fact that you can go on the internet and see it, the fact that you can go and look at people's replays, the fact that you can easily go to upload and reload tournaments and go to YouTube, the whole nine. Do you feel like older tournaments are harder? Because obviously I was with you watching the fact that this was popping up in the back of a magazine. I only knew people by name, not gameplay. But this is a little different for us now. Literally, we can just turn on. You can go to Twitter. I can open my phone and see tech. Do you feel like tournaments now reflect the fact that it's easier to be better at fighting games now, based off your opinion?
Now, before they answer, I wanted you, Father, and you can chime in too, Dion, if you want. But Father,
yeah, because if I may, when you're talking competitive gameplay, everyone has access to all the same information. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to learn strategies and, counter moves or whatever for whatever you think the other guy might do. So I don't I understand kind of what he's going for, but at the same time, like I said, everyone has access to all the same information via the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to go on YouTube and figure out how to stop a a certain character and a certain strategy in a game. It's not hard. There's and this is coming from an avid Pokemon player. There's a counter for every strategy. You just have to figure out what that is.
What about you, Father?
I'm a slightly disagree with you, Dion, for one thing. I think the context of the question is in lieu of having this much information at the disposal, is it easier to compete in tournaments? And my answer is fucking no. And I'm gonna explain why. So listen, right? I don't think tournaments are competitive as fuck. It doesn't matter whether you have information or you don't have information. It's still going to be motherfucking difficult. Let me ask you a question, Dion. You're about to fight Daigo in a tournament, and you've been watching Daigo for 20 years straight. Are you beating him?
Probably
exactly. So this notion that because a whole bunch of people have information that tournaments can become easier or harder, no. So the entire point of having a tournament is to gauge the competition based on two criteria. How much can they adapt to to multiple opponents back to back to back in kind of like a gauntlet setting, and also another thing is mental fortitude. Most tournament winners that you notice are not even the best players on paper, because there's a lot of situations where upsets can happen. You feeling what I'm saying? So it's not even really about your skill set, even though it is. It's more so about your mental fortitude and if you can fucking hang in there in clutch situations and situations where shit don't make sense. The better player are the ones who can adapt to those situations faster than the others. So with the question, while I do think it was good in nature, and I do think there's multiple perspectives to be considered here, even yours, because you didn't necessarily say anything wrong. I do think that tournaments in itself are just always going to be hard no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you could study your opponent for like 2 months before a tournament, and you can have a good idea of how they play. And then the day the tournament happens, and they pick the character you've never seen them use before. Now what? What you finna do? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that shirt says. And shout out to my boy Dominion. That's literally one of my favorite players of all time. And we had exchange on Twitter, and I am so honored to talk to that brother. But he said something. He said, his shirt said something. He said, buff, nerf, patch, no, adapt. Fucking adapt. And the best fighting players are the best adapters.
I have not seen no one beat Daigo in the first attempt yet. And Daigo, he's very great. He's a slow learner, but once he adapts or once he gets it downloaded, it's hard. He's hard to beat. And
that's Japan in general.
That's just Japan in general. And it's funny Japan because like there's plenty of examples about that. And the first thing, especially the mental fortitude thing that Father was talking about, the first thing that popped into my mind was Goichi versus Leffen. With motherfucking it was just Bardock and like Leffen had all three of his characters, and Goichi played some of the best defense.
What was they playing? MVC too?
No,
Dragon Ball.
Oh.
I remember that match.
Yeah, I will probably show you that match, Dion, but you would be like, if you were to watch that shit, you would be like, hi.
I haven't played Fighters in forever. Fighters was fun. I might re-download that on my P5 and play that some more. Fighters was fun.
Yeah, but if you ever watch that set between Goichi versus Leffen, you're gonna be like, how the fuck Goichi get the fuck out of that one? I watched that live and I was just like, my mouth was on the floor. Like this, I was like, yo, this man is the GOAT. That's what, or at least for like Dragon Ball Fighters, and it was just like that. But yeah, a lot of Japanese people.
I need a camera for my P5, and I'm gonna start streaming again.
Shoot, go ahead, do it. Who else? Tokido. Tokido's very good at mental fortitude. That's why they call him Murder Face. Motherfucking Momochi. Momochi's very. Um, Sako is. I can name a bunch of Japanese players. They're
My
just.
favorite when it comes to mental fortitude is Itabashi Zangief.
Oh
That's
yeah,
my
and
boy.
he plays Zangief. He's a grappler, motherfucker. And
Zangief, if you know what to do with him, like you can literally suffocate your opponent.
oh, oh yeah, but yeah,
Because I play Street Fighter 6 on a P5, and I've met some disgusting Zangief players.
yeah. What was I saying? But to answer the question, do I think it was harder back then? See, back like you, like all y'all have points because it was like back then, no one knew what road canceling was, and no one knew what road canceling was until they saw it in the tournament, and then everybody had then figured out what road canceling was. Now, I feel like in today's modern day, I feel like a lot of people try to use try to abuse tech or abuse gameplay just to try to win matches. Where back then, it was about your fundamentals, and I still feel like fundamentals outbeat you abusing your gameplay. Because shoot, when I started playing Project M and shit, and like we had shout out to Isaiah because Isaiah done taught us the game and shit. I thought I was solid just learning wave dash with Luigi, and then you play Isaiah, and he just and he bodies you because he knows the insides and out of that fucking game. Where like there was one time I couldn't even touch him.
Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
So, okay, and Fada, you and me, the time we spent at the Art Institute together, you and me were deep rivals on Tekken, especially on that Tekken Tag Tournament too.
Is this true?
Well, we also made excellent tag team partners, and you and we did team together, but that's a separate conversation. But
also true.
We had one conversation after one particular fight between you and I. You beat me by the skin of your fucking teeth. I can't remember the team you used, but I remember you had your life bar was gone. I don't know how the fuck you were standing, but you somehow came back and comboed me and beat me. And we had a conversation after that, and I remember telling you when it comes to fighting games, I more or less fight how I fight in real life. You made a comment of how of how I'm good on like my punish game, like when an opponent misses an attack, and I'm just like, well, again, that's how I fight in real life. You do the wrong thing, I'm going to sucker punch you.
So you was very good at whip punishing, Dion?
Yeah, but also, and I credit you for this in particular, Fada, because as aggressive as I normally play, you actually made me stop and think before I move, and that improves my gameplay in fighting games leaps and fucking bounds.
Yeah, he will make you do that. He'll make you do
that. Does this sound familiar, right?
You are the reason. Okay, you are the reason I mastered the stutter step, and then go in and do what I need to do. You're the reason I mastered that.
I've been doing this a long time, Dion.
I understand, but you've always been one of my favorite people to fight against in really any game. Which kind of you don't fuck with Soul Calibur at all, do you?
What? I got it installed right now.
I'm about to say we've as much as you.
I've never played Soul Calibur 6 with you. Of all the different games we played together, you and me never played Soul Calibur 6 together. We need to change that
right now. I literally have it right now.
We need to change that. It might be later tonight because I'm going to be watching football and shit most of the day. But if you're available at some point later tonight, we can change that. We can get on Soul Calibur. That's one of the few games that I haven't played often because I haven't had anyone to play with in a long time. But
you have it on console, don't you?
Yeah, I got it on my P5 right now.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the games I hate playing Father in.
It's the Astaroth, ain't it?
Yeah, I hate Astaroth in general.
Is that your main?
I am an Astaroth player, yes.
He's an Astaroth player.
Oh, I'm a Siegfried. My main is Siegfried. I'm gonna say my two mains are Siegfried and Talon. I'm gonna say my two.
Oh, I have plenty of experience with Talon. Thanks, right?
You're welcome.
Good. You're quiet now, you know?
Oh, God.
I still think that's literally one of the most disrespectful things to say to somebody. I know Astaroth is fucking disrespectful. That's why I like it.
Very. Astaroth is just mean.
Fucking
He's
that
so
throw,
mean.
nigga, that throw where he wraps you around his axe.
Right. That looks like something out of Mortal Kombat. I swear to God.
Or that one where he just fucking knocks you down and just steps on you. That's my favorite.
Squirm.
Squirm.
I heard squirm so many fucking times.
Squirm, scream.
That's my boy, yo.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try to figure that out because I don't have a P5. So
Shit.
if you have access to a computer, we can play. But yeah.
My laptop is some shit. My laptop is old as fuck. Old as fuck. It probably wouldn't even be able to maintain a stable connection if I was to get Steam or some shit.
Nah, you don't need Steam.
You don't need Steam. If just download Parsec.
Alright.
You'll thank us later. But oh yeah, trust me. And me and Father done been through wars. My favorite is Dragon Ball Fighters. He knows why.
Fuck that nigga. This nigga fucking Kamehameha me in my face. And I could do nothing. I literally could do nothing.
For me and Fada, the rivalry between me and Fada is between Tekken and Street Fighter. Because to this day, Fada, you are still the best Balrog player I've ever met. Personally.
Yeah, that's my boy, yo. I'm a Balrog player for life.
Yeah, he's the only Balrog player I know.
I've met other players that fight as Balrog, but not as proficiently as he does. And it's to the point where it is like on Street Fighter 4, you did shit with Balrog that I didn't even know Balrog could fucking do because I always perceived him as just such a slow, sluggish character.
He is slow and sluggish.
I think he's the first thing from slow and sluggish.
He's
like the Undertaker. He may look slow, but Undertaker will really jump up on you if he really could. That stuff.
He's what you call bimble. Okay? He's big and he's nimble. If you know what moves to do with Balrog, you can get some speed out of him and you can do some massive damage.
You want to know what it is, really? It's just spacing. It's just having advanced spacing.
He's yeah.
As a Balrog,
I always say that, Father. You know your spacing very well.
I have to. I have no choice. I lose if I don't.
Which is, you know what? That's that's what it is right there between you and I. That's what it is right there. I like to close the gap. I like to get in my opponent's face. But you know how to keep a motherfucker at bay.
You're damn right. Defense for days. You're not touching me. I lose health if you touch me. I don't want that.
but again, on Street Fighter, I'm a Ken player. And you know, if Ken gets on top of you, you're basically dead.
I have to guess, and I don't want to guess.
If Ken gets on top of you unabated, you're basically dead. Because he's got the speed and the attack damage to do some stupid things to an opponent.
I played you in 5, right, Dion? It was 5 and Tekken 7.
No. We've never played. We've played 4 together and never played 5. Matter of fact, you know what my favorite match against anybody on Street Fighter 4 was? And y'all, who was it that we were friends with that was the real big Zangief player in our crew, in our old crew back at the Art Institute? And I clutched out that one match against him as King.
Who?
Fuck was that Javon?
Javon never plays. He never played.
No. It was something with a J. I can't remember his name, but I know he was a real good Zangief player, and I like pulled a match that I probably should have lost, honestly, because I got a clutch super art against him. I remember this because he tried to finish me with Zangief's super art, that ultimate atomic buster, and I countered with a Shiryuken and stopped his ass.
I feel like I remember who you're talking about.
Did Clyde ever play Zangief?
He didn't play Zangief.
Because that's the only person I would think of. It's probably Clyde.
No. I know who you're talking about because there was a nigga that used to go in there. He played with a stick and he played Zangief. I think I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's like, I think 2, maybe 3 matches that I like. This lives in my head all the fucking time. One is obviously the one with Dragon Ball Fighters between Father and I, and both of them had to deal with Gohan. One when I level 3'd him, but the other one when I had him and I fucking key charged.
Yeah, he fucking key charged. Ooh, I felt his pain. I didn't want to do it. I honestly didn't want to. As soon as Ray fucked up, I stopped. I stopped with him.
I was heated.
It's one of those. I'm relentless. Again, I'm the guy that's going to dive at you. So if you do something and you leave yourself exposed, may the gods help you.
No, it's not that. It's where it happened. It's where, like, we were like, because we were both evenly matched. We were both down to our last character, and we were both blocking each other's shit. I deflected something, and you know he's Gohan, so I'm expecting him to come at me, and the nigga key charges, and then I just hear Ray go, "Fuck, fuck."
So he key charged by accident when he was trying to do something else.
Yeah, I fucking fat fingered, and I was.
You know what? I feel that, I feel that pain. Can I tell y'all a story? And of all people to do this to me, it was my own fucking son.
Oh Lord.
My son is somehow immaculately good at Mortal Kombat. At Mortal Kombat 1.
I'm not surprised. I think MK1 is one of the easiest fighting.
And you want to know the part that who's my favorite Mortal Kombat character? Who's always been my favorite Mortal Kombat character?
Who's always been your favorite Mortal Kombat character? Sub-Zero, right?
Yes. My own son trumped me as Sub-Zero.
Damn.
Which, okay, I the okay, y'all seen Dragon Ball Abridged, right? That one scene with Vegeta. Well, this is a new feeling, pride in someone else.
Oh, you had unyielding rage. Y'all had unyielding rage.
And it was just how did you learn to do this with Sub Zero in this short amount of time?
He got it from somewhere. Gee, I wonder where he got it from.
which I can't even. I'll eat that because coincidentally, I'm surprised. I've gotten surprisingly good with smoke. So okay, baby boy can have Sub Zero. I still got Katana, and I've become really good with smoke.
You hear this nigga Ray? This nigga passing the torch.
Uh-huh.
More like passing the fucking Grandmaster title to Lin Kuei. But
Father, if you fight DJ, you'll understand. You'll understand. If you actually fight him, you'll understand. I get nervous playing him on Smash Brothers because now it, oh my god, he's disgusting as Steve from fucking Minecraft. Oh my god, my son is disgusting as Steve on Smash Brothers.
How old is your son?
If it's not Steve, it's Bowser Jr.
How old is your son?
9. Okay. He just turned 9.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, I was about to say my nephew was kind of like around 8. He been trying to beat me in a bunch of Mortal Kombat games, and like he'll get real close, and then I just whip him.
I want to teach him Street Fighter, but I'm low-key scared.
Street Fighter is hard to get into than Mortal Kombat. I've always said that Mortal Kombat is like the easiest thing to get into, even as stiff as it is. It's like I always say Mortal Kombat is one of the easiest things to get it into. I just hate the stiffness. But shoot. I think another moment is one of my friends. Like I said, one of my friends, he was good at PM, and
fuck.
One of my homegirls, she was talking to me while I was playing PM.
Oh man,
Isaiah never lets
me. What you're talking about?
Yeah, and like Isaiah, like he's really good at PM, but it was just he was watching me, and I was doing like everything fluidly,
perfectly.
And I was just, and I ain't gonna say I zero stopped him, but I was let's just say for like the few seconds I had, I was whipping on him, and he said, "Hold on, wait a minute." He got serious and bodied me, and he said, "That old girl that gave me the
that." I swear to God, that's literally what happened the first time my son beat me on Pokemon.
Oh shit!
It was literally he fought me the first time, I won, and then he switched teams and started running back, and it was just like, wait a minute, hold up.
Run it back, old man. Hold on.
He leaned forward. Your son leaned forward.
Oh shit!
Nah, because Tekken be doing that to me too. If I lose the first game in Tekken, I lean forward. I'm like, all right, nigga. Nah, still one of my favorite moments. I was fighting Javon in fucking MKX. I remember this perfectly. I fought him in MKX, and you know that nigga likes to use katana, right?
Yeah.
So I'm using Kodo Khan, my boy, my fucking, my conqueror. So we fighting, you know what I'm saying? It's one round apiece, and I'm losing, right? So I'm like down to like a fucking pixel, but I managed to come back with like some really smart plays because Kodo Khan, once I punish you, I make it hurt, right?
Yes.
So what I did was I dropped my
Kotal
combo.
Khan's a defensive character anyway, so
I dropped my fucking combo on purpose because I wanted the Oki setup. So I let Javon get up because I knew he was gonna lunge at me. You know, Katana has that move where she lunges at you, right?
Yeah.
the
And I'm
one
like,
is Mortal Kombat X, right?
yeah. So
So you talking about the one move where she jumps on you like slits your throat and shit.
yeah. That move
Yeah.
specifically. And I knew it was coming. My Sharingan was open. You feeling what I'm saying? And as soon as that nigga leaped, I pressed the parry button. I parried that shit. Then I killed him. And then Javon was like, "What?"
I remember that. I actually remember that. I was laughing out loud.
Bruh. Yeah, and I looked at him. I'm like, I knew you were gonna do it. You cannot help yourself.
I did someone to need a rear match online as Katana one time. Same similar scenario, right? But this is what ended up happening. He goes for that similar move or whatever, tries to lunge on me. He's trying to finish with the brutality where she chops your head off with that shit, right? I counter with the same move, but I EX that shit with the meter. I pretty much canceled his attack out, and I ended up winning the match.
Like, bruh. Oh,
Super armor is a motherfucker. That's all I got to say about that.
you know I know about that.
Oh yeah. We used to have this dude named Ziggy, right? And he would tear whore the fuck out of you. And two, like when he felt like he did something, he would just look at you.
Oh my fucking! Bro,
And it was like the most annoying shit ever. This one, we was playing Smash Brothers, and like I was Luigi, and like I caught him real mean with like you know how Luigi got that uppercut and it just sent you off or some shit like that.
Yeah, but you gotta hit him like you gotta like be like right up under the dude, like really chin check him for the fire effect though.
Oh, I was good at that. Oh, if it was one thing I was good at, it was up being a nigga and up being someone because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at Smash Brothers, but after a while, everybody used to run from me or block because let's just say like Isaiah
Smash Brothers is such a simple fighting game. Honestly, it's a matter of timing.
yes.
Everything you do on Smash Brothers is a matter of timing.
Yeah, and Isaiah had this one rule that he told us to never up B off stage. And a lot of people used to just up B off stage. And if you up B, you know, you just fall and you can't do nothing. So me as a Luigi main, if I see you up B, I would literally run to you and then uppercut the shit out of you.
Again, that's that when you miss an attack, I'm gonna sucker punch your ass.
Oh yeah, so yeah, but he used to tear whore all the fucking time. And we was doing some tournament and this one like Luigi, this is Smash 4, this was like Luigi was like top 10 because he had like a down throw up B choose that
That's the one from the Wii?
The Wii U.
Yeah.
And like I beat he chose Luigi against my Luigi. And when I tell you
Which was a bad fucking idea.
Mirror matches are always fun.
It's not even the fact that he was mirror matching, the fact that because he would tear whore in any game, he would fucking tear whore. And he was tear whoring Luigi. And it was like I knew he don't know how to play Luigi. So when I tell you I beat that boy in 40 seconds.
I was there.
Straight up.
I can confirm.
Ooh.
I beat him in 40 seconds. I said
I wish my boy
and I told him,
oh man, I wish my man Torian was he here right now.
Yeah, I beat that boy in 40 seconds. I told him never pick up that character ever again.
He looked him dead in the eye when he said
I looked him dead in the eye. I got up and got into
no, because I did this. When I tell you I did the same shit to one of my friends on Soul Calibur when he tried me at Siegfried, and again I'm a Siegfried main. And I tell him if you ever pick Siegfried again, I'm gonna make you hate life.
Oh no, I know. After I was done, I literally got up and I got in his face and stared at him.
No, my friend don't talk about. I turned into a whole villain. I made him pick up Nightmare just to try to counter my Siegfried.
That's funny. Now, I don't know. Have you Dion? Have you ever seen this match between K Brad and Wolf Chrome?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay. After K, first off, them two hated each other, right? And
shit.
Wolf Chrome used to do a bunch of shit that is just used to get under K Brad's skin. And then when K Brad beat him, right?
Yeah.
He got it right in his face, inches,
and just
inches
looked
in
at
his
him
face and started talking shit. That shit was. I think the same thing to Ziggy when I told him. And Ziggy couldn't even look at me. Ziggy couldn't.
And I'm like, ain't that fucking ironic? Now you don't want to look at a nigga.
I said, don't look over there.
No.
I said, don't look over there. Look at me.
Then he started looking at me, and I'm like, don't look over here. You better look at what's in front of you.
I said, never do. I said, never do what you just did.
Oh nah, how about the time Ziggy tried to show me a Kodo Khan combo? He dropped it, then I did the very same fucking combo he was trying to show me.
Damn.
I was laughing.
Oh, he had to feel like shit. That would hurt my soul. That would hurt my soul.
Oh, Ziggy tried both me and Father a bunch of times. There was one time he was trying me in Skullgirls. And
I still never played Skullgirls.
Let's just say he was okay at it, and I guess he thought he was good with me, and it was one time I comboed him so bad that I was having a conversation with someone else while comboing him.
I was there for that too,
and I didn't drop a single
input.
just to show him that you are not on my level. And everybody was looking at me, was like, oh my God.
Disrespectful as fuck.
Oh, it was one time that I did a combo and then I dropped the controller and then went out and then walked around the lounge because I knew it was over after that. And then after that, from across the hall, I yelled, "Get off the controller, Ziggy!" just to show him that we are not on the same level.
Oh shit!
I used to get that boy fits, and because of him and his tail horn. But I think the person who did him worse was Father, because it was Father and our friend Shazzy. And the funny thing was, Shazzy wasn't even at the school. We was I think this was Discord started.
Yeah,
and Shazzy and Father beat him so bad that Shazzy was talking shit over the Discord. And then he popped off. He said, "Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up, Shazzy!"
And I was dying.
Well, okay, so it's funny. So no, he actually started with me because he's like, "Shut the fuck up, Wallace." And then Shazzy was like, "Yo!" in the Discord. He's like, "You shut the fuck up too, Shazzy."
Shit. Oh man.
And I'm like, bro, first of all, calm down. Second of all, you still stink.
Yeah, he had odor.
He had body odor issues so bad, even Javon yelled at him.
Oh.
That was also funny. Shout out to Javon, because Javon used to get the worst of it too. Especially he used to challenge me in Marvel too. And I had a little I had a solo gal that he just could not beat for his life. It was so bad that he literally formed a team to try to counter my solo gal and still couldn't beat it. And that was just
Guile. See, Guile is specifically designed for defensive gameplay, so it's tricky to even really land a shot on a good Guile player.
No. Marvel 2, I was rushed down. I would rush you down. I would rush you down with Guile in Marvel 2 because you know how
Most
fast.
of like the good Guile players I know are like the defensive. They'll wait for you to do the wrong thing and then fuck you up.
Oh, I would completely rush him down, and then like he didn't know because he would crouch block all the fucking time, so he didn't know that in Marvel too that if you like air combo while you crouch guarding, there's a overhead. It's sort of like an instant overhead, and he never
Oh
knew
yeah.
that. So I would punish him every fucking time, and then like also he didn't know how to tech roll because I used to do this move where like you know Gal got that double clip up thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel 2, like the double if you don't tech roll the first one, the second one will hit you and then turns into like his flash kick special. And I would do that to him all the fucking time. And it would and he would literally have like 3 people to my 1, and I would literally like come back and beat him all the fucking time. Like it was brutal.
Nah, you want to know what was brutal? It's not even that. Do you remember the double uppercut that we hit on Javon when we broke his shield?
That man, that shit.
I swear to God, I wish I recorded that, but it is forever burned into my memory. So here's what happened. We were playing Melee too. This was Melee. We were doing
the GameCube. Ooh.
yeah, we were doing 2v2s, and me and Ray, we both picked Luigi because we were the Ouija boys. So, you know, I forgot who his teammate was, but we got him out the paint. And you know, Javon was trying, you feel what I'm saying? But then we broke his shield. Now, this is Final Destination. So I'm on one side and Ray is on the other. So, you know, when your shield breaks, your character floats up in the air. So as Javon is floating down, straight dab in the motherfucking middle, Ray's on the left, I'm on the right. We both run up, and as soon as that nigga touches the ground, we both uppercut him at the same time.
Did y'all double Ryukin this nigga?
Yes.
I love it.
It was beautiful.
Oh, I had a nail biter against a buddy of mine. Me is Luigi and him is Donkey Kong on there. Oh shit. I did lose, but man, skin of his teeth. Skin of his fucking teeth.
Oh yeah. Oh, Father. There was one where you wasn't there, and I wish that PM had like a recording system because it was so beautiful. I was playing Lucario, and he was playing Ness, and you know, like in the PM version, Lucario got this like spirit bomb thing, right?
Yeah.
So, like while we was battling, I threw a spirit bomb, and it missed him. And then so for some reason I threw another spirit bomb that missed him as well. So then he tried to run up on me. I grabbed him and I pushed him into the one spirit bomb, and it hit. And then it made him fly into the next spirit bomb that I went before. And God. Then it went off.
Ow.
Yo, when I tell you, I said, I wish people was there. I was like, no one was there but me and Javon. And it was just like, oh my God. I said, you lucky there was no one here to see this shit.
But you know he ain't forget.
Oh, he did not forget. He was pissed. He was like,
what that probably is in his head rent free.
No.
Oh, man.
I know you were happy about that. But my favorite memory of you is when you and AJ were playing Smash during that fucking late night after hours part. Oh my God. Oh my God.
When I was trolling him the whole fucking time.
Like we had to kick him out of the game because he was getting way too mad.
Relentless. Oh shit.
AJ had this thing where he liked to spike people with Solid Snake, and I think I caught him with an up B, and he was chasing me. So he was trying to spike me off. He was trying to spike me off the platform, and I just straight up died. I said, and he got so mad, he was like running back.
Ray is so petty.
We was doing 1v1s, and every time he would try to catch me off guard or catch me on the platform, I would just die.
Just to not give him the satisfaction.
Just to not give him the satisfaction.
And I'm like, that is the pettiest shit I've ever seen in my life. It was working.
Yeah, because there was times where he did chase me down, and like I would upbeat and coin spike him, and he would die. and then the next time he would chase me, I would just like straight up die. I was like, nope. And then when he finally caught me, he was like, thank you, God.
And I'm like, yo, by that time it was too late.
The damage was done.
Oh man, I poked the bear so hard that day. And I was laughing too. I don't know what made it worse, the fact that I was doing it or the fact that I was laughing in his face the whole time. It's like he would not let me get off the game, even though he won like all the games. He would not let me off the game because I was coin spiking him or like because I was doing that. He was like,
the one thing he wanted to land, you wouldn't give him.
He was like, I was looking at him. I was like, AJ, you won. He was like, it's okay. He was like, no. He was like,
it wasn't enough.
Was he oh shit. That was good. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Fighting games are great.
Facts.
If you don't play fighting
bring back
games,
Bloody Roar.
I don't see that happening. I love Bloody Roar, but I don't see that happening.
Nah, fuck that. Bring back Bloody Roar.
Don't be a disgruntled fan. You know they never get shit.
And to be for real, we're lucky we even got Marvel 2 back.
As someone, and Ray is right there with me when I say I've been screaming for a Parasite Eve remake for the fucking longest. Don't be a disgruntled fan.
Yeah.
I also
want a Parasite Eve remake. And I think this is a perfect time to do one.
Literally.
A Parasite Eve remake would be perfect.
I just think that game would be so good if it was remade. And just bring back the original composer, please.
That game is beautiful.
Give it the real time combat like they did with Final Fantasy.
I mean, you could do that too, but
I like the combat in there.
Yeah, I like the combat in there. It can be real time if they want.
It can be real time, but I would prefer because I feel like if they do bring it back, I don't want a third person shooter. I want the combat that they kind of made in fucking the original game because I thought it was very innovative.
Oh,
it definitely was. It was different. It was definitely different.
And plus, I love the story.
Yes.
Love the story.
That was the main thing people was into that shit for.
I remember the commercial for that game. I was like, yo, this shit look dope.
And they were promoting the fuck out of that game because there was a demo of a Final Fantasy VIII that came with it.
Yeah.
At the time.
I believe tournaments are more difficult now. And the good thing about tournaments is not like skill, it's just facts, it's numbers. Do you feel the culture regarding fighting games have changed a lot in Japan, or is it the same? Like they just keep playing fighting games?
I feel like the changes that they use, it's made them better because they've made a stronger community.
They're actually better now, right?
Yeah, they are because they made it a community.
Listen to this, because they're actually better now. Back then, you dropped one Japanese, he won the tournament right away. Here we have 50, 60 Japanese, they're losing. So that's just facts. It's just numbers.
So you're saying with that alone, just the fact that we have so many international players, especially on the Japanese side of things, specifically the Street Fighter, that should tell you that fighting games now are a lot harder because of that.
It's facts because you remember, like for example, and I see, I respect because of the times what happened.
Yeah.
Back then, you had Daigo, you had his manager that made top 16 because and you had like his coach also made top 16. But Daigo will win the tournament, and if somebody put up some fight, took a game or two, that's it. But if I come to Evo right now, I lose to Daigo. Is it an upset or not? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a good point. But no, I'm gonna come to you on this side.
I've been dying to talk. Right.
Well, I appreciate you. Hold yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Being respectful.
I've been dying to talk. So 100%, I think the Japanese fighting game community is worse now.
Really?
It's worse now because you know why?
Really?
Let me tell you something.
Talk to me, Justin.
Bro, no.
Hold on, wait. No.
Evo Japan,
okay.
The one that Mena RD won. Congratulations, by the way. You're a champion. You know what I mean?
What a legend.
You are a
guy.
champion.
I see you.
But
a legend.
But you're not going to tell me those pools were not the most freest pools in the freaking world. Those pools were so easy. I had friends that I'm like, I don't even play this game, and they got out of pools at Evo Japan. So based off of that, when you think about it, and I lived in both ends of the spectrum, right? Seeing the Street Fighter 6 player playing ranked matches, any top international player will go to Japan and they'll get the #1 CFN spot because the points there are free, easy to get, right? So one, easier to play currently, and the Japanese FGC community is much weaker because back in the day, when you think about Third Strike, when you think about CVS2, when you think about ST, nobody in the world,
Nobody touched Japan.
Other country in the world can.
You couldn't touch MOV in Third Strike if you was MOV in Third Strike.
Nigga literally would parry everything you did. And he played multiple characters.
That boy MOV once said, you need to ban my Chun-Li because my Chun-Li is too good. And he was winning tournaments. MOV Strike is a bad boy, for those that don't know. One of the best Chun-Li's, period. But Third Strike, and he won Third Strike tournament too in Evo. That's a bad boy. And the funny thing is, he was using Elena in one of the tournaments. But also, like, which is why I was so focused on that Third Strike tournament in Evo. There was another person in there named Hayao, who is
my boy,
the best Hugo player, and he showed you why. And the fact that those two made top 2, it was happy. There was a Makoto player in there that I was hoping that we get in, Tomonaga, but I always thought Haitani was a better Makoto anyway. But Tomonaga is the dog. Tomonaga is the fucking dog. But you was not beating those speed. There was like Street Fighter. There's like 5 gods in like Street Fighter Third Strike. You was not touching. And was it Street Fighter 2 Nuki? You was not beating Nuki in Street Fighter 2. Tokido had a Vega that no one could stop. And it was started that whole Super Turbo Vega cheese and some shit like that. There was some people in Japan you just could not fucking touch. So yeah, Justin knows because he done played all the players. And some of them are still good. Boss and CVS2? It's a bad fuck. He was a bad man. He was a bad man.
Beat them in those respective games, and that still holds true up to this day. Even if the community right has grown so much online for the older games, more than now. Third Strike at Evo is the most entrants ever in Evo.
Okay,
but you know what? Ultimately, in the end, Japan is going to dominate.
What are your thoughts? What Justin just said.
So, first, with all respect to the legend right here, he's assuming a lot. He's saying, they get #1 in CFN. It doesn't mean they're playing the best of the best in Japan, right? So usually I see the best players in the world go to Japan. They actually get cooked. I see it. Japan is the strongest region in the world right now. Even if they're losing most of the events, that tells you a lot of how strong they are. And another thing is, and this is the main argument I'm going to tell you, this is why I believe facts. You're telling me Japan is weaker right now. Every single world title of won, if in Japan or Asia, I haven't seen the Americans at the finals. That's what I'm saying. So if they were as weak as Justin is saying, why am I meeting them every single time at nighttime, at Sunday, every single time?
I got to give somebody the argument.
You think you got a point?
Menardi?
Yeah. I don't look because I think of that one Evo run with fucking or was it CPT where Idom went from losers and was 3-0 all the Japanese players until he got to who? Fujimura? Was it Fujimura? He faced a fight?
Yeah,
Or
but honestly, that was just because Japan was weak against Laura
I
in
give you that.
general.
I
You
give
know
you
what
that.
I'm saying? And that's not to discredit Idom, because Idom was legit one of the best players of that fucking tournament. You feel what I'm saying? That's not to discredit him at all, but Japan legitimately was weak against Laura. You know what I'm saying? So, but like at the same time, because like I don't got like put into losers, right? But like you
Yeah.
also have to understand the play style of certain regions. Japan, they're all about precision. You feeling what I'm saying? That's why, like, because most of them they play in arcades. So when it comes to matchups, they usually know matchups. But at the same time, like, if they come to America, it's much more of a wild card because you got niggas that pick a whole bunch of obscure characters and they don't really play them that optimally. So when they get here, they have to adapt. You feeling what I'm saying? So
Live streaming is on.
As you were saying?
No, so I think that like just in terms of Idom's ramen at the time, because if you watch it, he was busting niggas ass because he kept putting them in very, very, very unfair situations, right?
Right.
And in order to defeat Laura, the point is to not be in those situations in the first place. You feel what I'm saying? Which is a lot easier said than done because Idom has really fucking good fundamentals. Want to know why? Because he's in New York. New York has one of the strongest Street Fighter scenes, period. You feel what I'm saying? So when he was busting niggas ass, not because niggas was weak against Laura, but because he had a very special play style with Laura in the fucking first place. He had a Idom was playing Laura. Laura wasn't playing Idom. If that makes sense.
One of the first people I seen Punk Evolution was Idom. And this is before Idom really started traveling. Like I remember like Punk was in his local tournament and he was winning everything. And then next thing you know, Punk lost to Idom. I was like, yo, who the fuck is this Idom? And like so, yeah, Idom a motherfucking beast. And shoot, even in the beginning of 6, there was a lot of Japanese players in there. I forgot who won that first Evo tournament. But I remember High Town he had a Chun Li, and he was like a bottom Chun Li, and he was kind of like busting ass. And then like Daigo was doing good in that tournament too, but I think he lost the mid ID off from was it pools or was like top 64 or some shit like that.
Wait,
But
you said the first Street Fighter 6 champion?
Yeah.
I think that was Menardi.
It was Menardi. Yeah, it was Menardi because it was a blocker. And Menardi, he barely, honestly, I know he won that, but he barely beat Daigo. I actually watched that match that he uploaded. He barely beat Daigo. Daigo was actually like, it was neck and neck. Let's just say that. But, Menardi, yeah, shout out to Menardi, though. He was kind of like, he might be the best. He might be the best Street Fighter 6 player. Other than, might be Punk, because I know Punk's been dominating, but Menardi's definitely been dominating. I think the Americans has got Street Fighter 6 now. But who's the Rashid player? Who's the Rashid player?
Is it Angry Bird?
No, it's like the Japanese Rashid player.
Or Japanese? I don't know.
Is it Fujimura?
I thought Fujimura played Kami.
Fujimura does play. He was because he was in the finals. I think Rashid won the tournament. One of those tournaments. Who won CPT? It was an Asian dude. But it was China. He was from Hong Kong, and it was a jury player. But he was playing somebody in Japan. I'll figure it out there. Is it? Yeah, I'll figure it out sometime later. But shit. Any yeah. Any last words before we move on to the next topic? Yeah.
It was are you talking about Uma? Uma, that's who it was. Fucking Uma.
Yeah.
That just came in my fucking yeah, I remember who we were talking about. Yeah. But as for my last words, bro, this is why like I can see the appeal of like having this discussion, especially like on a esports perspective, because like fighting games have gone esports now. But we all know that when it comes to fighting games, the best players are usually the niggas that don't travel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was a huge thing back in the day. But when tournaments were starting getting more popping, you remember our Kappa started sponsoring like niggas. And when they came to the tournament, they just started beating everyone's ass. That's what happened with Pepper Day, the El Fuerte player from Japan. And the nigga just came in and got top 8 in every tournament he went to. Just beating everybody's ass.
Pepper Day was nasty.
Like there was a time nobody could touch this nigga until we sent an assassin, and his name was Smug.
Yeah, oh yeah. And like he had the fucking Gaichikun. That's what it was.
Yeah, Gaichikun. Yeah.
Gaichikun. Dang. I was like, I knew it was somebody. Yeah, Gaichikun Rashid. His Rashid is nasty. That's who. Matter of fact, that's who Idol lost to in the finals. I think it was Idol versus Gaichikun. I think.
That would be a hell of a match.
Oh, shit. Oh no, it was Kawano. Kawano. That's fucking. I'm getting all my Japanese players mixed up, but yeah, Kawano was the one that won that stopped Idom on that run because I thought Idom was going to run the table. That because he was beating Daigo, he beat Tokido, he beat another Japanese motherfucking killer, and then he got to Kawano and fucking lost. And I was like, God damn. Yeah. So, shoot. All right,
it was a good one.
What my notes said, so we get on to the next topic. Oh yeah. Speaking of Japan, and like Father done talked about this before, but there was a video about the Japanese birth rate declining even more to where, like, it seems like the Japanese are sooner or later might be extinct. And have you heard about? I know you talked about that, but have you seen like any video on it, Father?
I saw like a couple of videos on it, but I haven't seen one recently. Usually, my focus right now is on the UK. I'm like looking at the UK right now because them niggas is whew. If you ain't in London, bruh, you're kind of cooked. And if you are in London, you're still kind of cooked.
So what's going on in London?
Nah, it's just the UK right now is like economically collapsing. You know what I'm saying? Like COVID fucked them up. Brexit fucked them up. Like they're really struggling right now. They went through 2 prime ministers in the span of months. That's how bad it is.
Ooh, that's damn. That's so. So what? I come to the panel on this. What do y'all thought about the low birth rates that's happening in Japan and most of the world? That's what I wanted to get your thoughts on.
So okay, so with Japan, in particular, you have to understand that they are just now coming from a lost decade, decade, right? Not even a lost decade, but like they have what they call a lost generation, and this happens when a generation is kind of like entering adulthood during an economic collapse. So what ended up happening was that because the Japanese working system is so rigid, it was very difficult for people to get into the workforce. You feel what I'm saying? Because of the notion that once you get hired by these companies, you're pretty much there for life, and you have to swear loyalty to your boss. You feel what I'm saying? So because of that, there was a whole bunch of graduates and students and people who are entering the workforce that really couldn't get there. So if you are not economically stable, you're less likely to buy a house. You're less likely to have kids. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of shit that you can't do. You haven't fully become an adult, even though you're an adult by age. So because of that, now there's a situation in which a lot of people just literally cannot afford to have kids, so they don't have them. And another thing that also contributes to it is that kids are also expected, like in a Japanese society, to basically assimilate very very early. This is why kids, like in elementary school in Japan, they clean the classrooms, they clean the gyms. Like they're the ones that are responsible for the cleanliness of the school. Now, I think that's fucking awesome, right? Having the kids clean up the school and shit like that, because it teaches responsibility and it also teaches a collective unity. You feel what I'm saying? So when you go to Japan, they appear like they're harmonious with each other. But what it really is just the notion that they don't want to be the ones to disrupt that harmony, to disrupt that, norm. So when it comes to their issues, they keep quiet. You know what I'm saying? They don't really talk about it like that. And in the case, this is why they have what they call hikikomori, so people that are just socially isolated from the society, because there's no real use of enacting change on that scale. And that also feeds into the fact that a lot of these people don't want to have kids. Then on top of that, like women, as it is, get underpaid in Japan. So, even though they have a lot of good jobs and stuff like that, they don't necessarily have full the income to like take care of kids like that. If you seen some of the articles that were coming out, they was trying to say that the Japanese government was looking towards immigration in order to offset a lot of the losses that they were taking. But the real problem is that Japan has the oldest population in the world. Like they have more older people than younger people, and it's going to like triple if they don't, get it together and have people to start having kids. Because then what ends up happening is that the kids now that grow up to be adults is going to be them, and it's going to be a shit ton of old people that cannot work and that have to depend on welfare in order to, continue to live their standard of living that they're living in. So in the near future, what you might see is a lot of older homeless people, because that's always been a thing in Japan where a lot of elderly people are homeless. Same thing with I think South Korea too, but to a lesser extent. But yeah, usually Japan, like a lot of elderly people are homeless. And it's getting to a point now where if they really don't address the issue of their birth rates declining, then their numbers are going to plummet literally. So that's what I have to say about that.
Dion, you got anything to say about that? Dion, are you there?
Damn. Where did Dion go?
I don't know. I hear him, but it's anyway. Yeah, I agree with you, Father. Also, I want to know is like, do you think this problem is going to come over in America?
I think it's already happening.
So you think it's already happening?
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be in the form of declining birth rates. but you're seeing it right now in real time. Let me ask you a question, Ray. The past few months, when you've looked at elementary school and middle schools, what's the number one thing you've been looking at that goes viral on social media?
Teachers quitting their jobs because they can't take it no more, and then like they're getting underpaid and overworked.
Keep going. What else?
And also the kids are not listening, and like anytime when like the teachers confront the parents about it, the parents don't really do shit about it. So there's a lot of that. And yeah, and a lot of teachers are just not only that, they're struggling with that. It's just like how they can't really like afford to live even a barely a regular lifestyle off of the teacher side because teachers don't get paid that much.
Yep. You calling me? Sorry, I thought somebody was calling me. But yeah, bruh. So yeah, in regards to the US, it's degeneracy. You feel what I'm saying? It's the fact that our culture, it really ain't shit. It doesn't really encourage kids. What it does is it distracts kids into thinking that they're, more than they actually are. So they don't. So like they're not gonna respect teachers. You know what I'm saying with that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's so sad because at the same time, these kids are going to be the ones that are going to inherit, whatever it is that we have left for them. And right now, it's not really anything. Like, what are they inheriting?
I don't know.
Exactly.
That. I always say, and I heard this from someone else, but I do agree with. If you believe in generational wealth, you can agree with generational debt because some people just like there are people that literally try to teach you how to live off the system, like not even do better for themselves, but they'll how to game the system. There's people that's really trying to game the system, like single mothers instead of like being with a whole family, they'll just rather live off welfare. It's like, and then you ask the why, it's like, so I can get that money. And it's just like, that's not really them getting money. You just living off the government and shit, while other people like have to pay for it and some shit like that. So, yeah, shit. But I think this shows you that we really need to start changing some systems around here. And I've been yelling this for like the longest is that, some of these old ways that, we've been idolizing and monetizing, is like, it's not working anymore in this tradition and in this day and era. I know everybody wants a traditional lifestyle, but we can't live a traditional lifestyle if nothing about us is traditional. Not even the way we work. Like I know now. Like we done said this before. Motherfuckers got 2 or 3 jobs just to make a living. When back then your father could have a fucking factory job and fucking have a damn to support a whole family. Damn man, have a side family. It's just and like people want a traditional life. It's just like we're not getting traditional money. And then like now we looking at old homes that you bought for like $50K is going for like at least 200. So yeah, as far as birthday rates decline, obviously we are seeing that too because not that many people are having babies like they used to. Like you still get your teen pregnancies here and there, but most people, I say people's like in their 30s, no kids. Fucking couple of 40-year-olds, no kids. Some people never had kids, and they're not even barren. They just never just settled down, or they work their whole life or some shit like that. They have no kids, so so you're definitely seeing it, and it's because of the way the system is, and it's really fucking us over. And it's like unless we do something to change the system to where like hell, like motherfuckers is not even like the U.S. currency is not even viable in other states. It's like. But not even other states, excuse me, other countries, where it's just like like you can't even get pulled in there in most other countries and some shit like that. And
You want to know
But
what the sad part is about that, Ray? You want to know what the real sad part is?
what's the
That
sad part?
now you're gonna have a generation that's never gonna know what it's like to truly be an adult.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? And the saddest part is we stigmatize them for it. We're not the type of people to lend out a helping hand and say, "Hey, let's figure out a way to solve the problem." We look at a nigga who's struggling and be like, "Ha ha!" Just like that nigga from Simpsons. That's America in a nutshell.
Nelson from Simpsons.
Yeah, America is literally Nelson from The Simpsons, where they see poor people or they see people who are legitimately trying and that are struggling, and they be like, "Ha ha!" You know, and you can't, bro. That's not a society at that point. That's feudalism. That's literally feudalism. Because what happened that started the French Revolution, German Revolution, Russian Revolution? What was the main thing that started those revolutions? It was economics.
Mm-hmm.
It was motherfucking economics. That's why they always fought in Europe because they wanted economic domination. They never wanted economic solidarity. They never wanted economic, prosperity. They wanted domination. Let me tell you something about money, right? When you hoard money, so like, say you have a town full of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If one person has all of the motherfucking money, what does the town have?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? So now all of the money is concentrated with this one nigga that owns this one motherfucking business. And you know what they say? Oh, well, he got all this money. That means he can create jobs, right? Or somebody's going crazy up in that fucking background. But
Yeah, I'm about to leave. But go ahead.
so yeah, so like as I was saying, um so you have a town full of people, and then one person in that town kind of like has all the money because their business is just so motherfucking successful, right? So now people are gonna say, "Well, damn, he can create jobs," and I'm like, "Okay, so now hold that motherfucking thought right there for a second. Now, if somebody has all the money and can create jobs, that also means that he can pay you whatever the fuck he wants, right?" Now you see where I'm going with this. So now you have incentivized a whole bunch of people who have a whole bunch of money, and they're obviously out of touch with the town because they have all this money and they live in a glass motherfucking house. You know, now it's going to be about siphoning as much profit as possible. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, he'll pay you, he'll provide a job, but then the rent gets raised because hey, you know what I'm saying? In this town, in this particular town, we want to invest in more housing, but that housing isn't going to accommodate for people who are living in that town. Is going to accommodate for people who are going to move into town with really fat paychecks, aka gentrification. You feel what I'm saying? So when you do that, you're hoarding wealth and you're deliberately keeping it away from people who could use that wealth to further bolster the economy. If 3 people have all the money in the world, that's not much of an economy. You feel what I'm saying? But if millions of people share millions of dollars amongst themselves, money is always moving, money is always circulating, money is always going from one place to another. People are taking out loans, people are paying back their loans with the money that's being circulated through the town. People can import stuff, people can export stuff. Foreign exchange rates will be normalized because when we're in this town, we're able to do business amongst each other. So there's a strong incentive that when you invest, you're actually going to get something back instead of that money being used to invest somewhere else so that they can risk it not working out and then not being able to pay back the loan. And of course, interest rates are always going to be a factor. So when you take all of this shit into consideration, the way that people conduct business in America is actually hindering America. You remember, I always say America is a country that constantly motherfucking eats itself. And this is one of the biggest example of how it does that. It takes opportunities deliberately away from people who are the working class in America, and they basically strip them down to poverty wages and scare the shit out of them by saying, if you don't pay bills, you're going to be homeless or you're going to starve. That's where we're at. So the only particular reason why it's manifesting as low birth rates in Japan the way it is because again, Japan is a very homogenous society, and if there's a whole bunch of people that are not having babies, then there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are really not going to have babies because they don't want to deviate from the norm of that motherfucking society, right? Now, if I go to South Korea, it's more so about a mental health issue because most of the wealth is actually concentrated by a few families, and everyone else is kind of basically at the bottom trying to fight their way out. That's why they have so many motherfucking documentaries and shit. When you watch K dramas and shit, usually the K dramas are set in like they're either set in like high school or the problem started in school, and then they grow up older, and then they still haven't gotten over the issues that started in school. That's a huge problem. It's going to manifest itself in many different ways depending on where you are at. But another country that's also going through it too with youth unemployment is India. You feel what I'm saying? Like I saw this one clip where there was a job opening and literally hundreds of people showed up in person with their resume. Hundreds for one job. So it just goes to show you that the wealth isn't really being distributed evenly, which is the entire point, because now you have created a mindset of people that think that if I just work hard enough, then I'm going to get there too. And then by the time they're like 50 years old, they realize they've been running themselves to a motherfucking wall, and now they'll have a whole bunch of health problems. So it's a multi-layered ass motherfucking conversation, and it's going to manifest itself in many different ways and scenarios depending on which region that you're in. But America in itself is cooked because they don't really give a fuck about the greater good. They only give a fuck about who has the balls to make more money than anybody else. And if it's not you, then fuck you. Ha ha.
Oh shit. I think you done said it all. Any last words before we move on to our next topic? Well, I guess not. On to our next topic. How you feel about Iran's?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I just wanted to ask you. So right now, where you stand, right, and all of the shit that you done did, in your past up to now, do you feel like you've been given like a fair shot, or you had like a fair opportunity, or do you feel like you just jumped through a whole bunch of hoops and now you're here? Which one?
I feel like I didn't jump through a whole bunch of hoops and now I'm here.
Mind you, you went to the military in order to not, be in that situation. And, so I know that, you probably have a like perspective, and you probably have some shit that you really want to get off your motherfucking chest about the way shit is around here.
The reason, like I know I told the story before. The reason why I went into the military because I couldn't find a job in where I lived at. And I originally supposed to go to the Art Institute of Washington in around 08, 09. Something had to do with my parents and the taxes, and I was actually going to make video games at that time. I was not going there for film. I was actually wanting to make video games because I was a gamer and all I did was play games and all that stuff. I said I would like to know how to make video games, and G4 was popular at that time, so I was all into making video games. And like when Art Institute of Washington came to my school, I was like, all right, I know where I wanted to go. So my parents was happy, but because of their taxes, I couldn't go. So I was like, all right, I'll just go into the working force. And I remember going to every job that was around my area, in my vicinity, asking for a job and asking if they was hiring. No one was hiring. And it got to a point where it was just like, well, my last resort was joining the Navy. And, and with the Navy, I joined. And even then, like when I got out the Navy, I was like, okay, let me just go into the working field. And, it would be better, now that I'm a veteran and I have an honorable discharge, maybe I will have kind of like the advantage. And I didn't. I really didn't. So I end up going back. I end up going back to AI and actually getting in on my own avail and all that stuff because of the military. But even then, it's just like I got my degree, but even then, I still wasn't getting no looks in my specific field that I got graduated in. So it was just like, God damn, what the fuck? So I ended up, working at Walmart, hated it, and then like working at other jobs, they were cool, they're better than Walmart. So yeah, it feels like I've been jumping through hoops and getting there. Now, be mindful, my father has worked at one job his whole life, and supported a family of 7 off of that one job, and God bless him. But it was just like I felt like that's what I was trying to do. But even getting to that, and this is just me, it's just me speaking. Even getting to that area is even tougher now than it is back then because everything costs now. Like inflation has gone up, housing has gone up. It like in order for one bedrooms, you get at least 1,500 to 2,000, depending on where you get that. Gentrification has really done hit some areas where, like, some areas was just ghettos are now like having high rises and condos. They're not putting regular apartments in there; they're putting high rises and condos, and those cost a grip. And it's just like, in order to at least make a comfortable living in most places, especially like places like New York, LA, and DC. And I'm not sure about Chicago, but I know New York, LA, DC, you better be making over 6 figures to live here, to even live comfortably. But even then, they get taxed. So it's just like, where is like as far as trying to at least getting your life started is just one obstacle, and then you want us to have a kids in this economy. It's just like, and because I know, especially like for young white men, and this is just for young white men. It's just young white men are not having they're having problems like in this country about starting a family because I know white people is just like your birth rate is declining, and it's just like why the birth rate is declining. Motherfuckers can't even get established. So it's just like how the fuck you supposed to have them work a family? They can't even get established. So yeah, it's I've been saying that fucked up. It's just the fact that I've seen it in other countries. At least I know that we're not the only ones having that trouble. But now we have to look at it. Okay, if everybody's having that trouble, why are we not changing the system? Why aren't we doing things that help each other out? Because sooner or later, the banks are going to buy all the fucking houses, and that's not good because you're going to be under their control. And it seems like the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. And the middle class is just non-existent. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm really glad you fucking broke that down because we talk about this shit because we done seen it in like real time. You know what I'm saying? And like I mean, you and me, like we've always had like a pretty like optimistic mindset because we don't place our value what type of job we have, but we place value in the type of people that we are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, even though we're not in the, even though we don't have like 6-figure salaries and shit like that, nigga, at least I can walk into a room and everybody know who the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying? There's no price tag when it comes to that. At least, if I ask for help, somebody's going to help me and not, judge me or not, do anything. So I feel like right now we just need to understand that there's more to life than just making a whole bunch of money. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you remember them fucking shows in like the late 80s, early 90s where, people will be having relationship problems because they work too fucking much?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, that's a detriment because if you're doing all that work, yeah, you're making enough money to support your family and shit like that. But then what about the actual family? You never there. You never went to your fucking son's baseball game. Never went to your daughter's recital. You know what I'm saying? You had to fight your motherfucking boss in order to get time off for graduation. So really, you know what I'm saying? Who's winning? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, when you take all of that shit into consideration, and then you also consider the fact that Japan is only in the situation that it's in because foreign investment dried up in that country because America was butthurt that Japan was pulling at them much better than they pulled than they did. They made much more money. They made much more advancements in technology because they're much more educated than us. So they was destroying us when it came to fucking the global world market. People say they almost surpassed US as the biggest economy. No, nigga, they were the biggest economy at one point. America just didn't want to admit it. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, when you take all of this shit into consideration, all in all is to say, nigga, we got scammed. And you know what, Ray? We probably should have just sold crack.
Yo, I said we had this joke about like, yo, if it doesn't work out, we just gonna sell crack. So
literally.
And it's funny because I don't know if you heard this Philharmonic song that he did. That he was just like, I should have sold drugs, but I was just like, that's the same thing that I was saying. It was just yeah, it's just, and I'm obviously I'm kidding, but it's just one of those things where it just fucking happened right there. It's just hold on. I think I found a video.
Approaching the first of the month, I don't think I have enough to even afford my rent. I'm losing my will to live. Once I hit age 26, I'm off of my mom's coverage. When she said get a real job, I probably should have listened. Finances taking a hit. I should go back to college. Rack up 6 figures in debt for a job I might not even get. What's even the point of degrees if I'ma end up on the street or working for Mickey D's? That's that bullshit I don't need. Now, the other option on my mind is not one that I usually try. But for the first time in my life, I think I might sell drugs.
I felt
Does that sound? Did you heard it right?
I felt that in my soul.
That's basically how I feel. And when I heard that, I laughed out loud, and you can hear it because this was on a tiny desk, and this was loud, and a lot of people laughed at it because I know a lot of people felt that way. And it was just like, and I've been seeing this TikTok. So it was just like on my way to work because I didn't want to sell drugs. Meanwhile,
looking real, what's it called? Attractive right now.
Yeah. It was another one. It was just like, me working a full-time job while some girl just said hop tour and getting
nigga. Oh my God, Ray. I was so mad. I was so fucking mad. I'm like, why? Fucking why?
That's it. You know what's sad? She's an average-looking white girl. This is not even like a very super, like, she's not ugly. It's just that she's not.
She's like, very, very, average. Very average.
She's very
just
average.
A random ass white girl in the middle of the street. And they just pluck her from obscurity and say, hey, everybody.
Hot tour.
Hot tour.
It's like, what are we doing wrong? You got it. Because after it was like, what am I doing wrong? That's it. Does society hate me?
Yes, society hates you.
Oh, man. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Nigga, this shit ghetto. We sell crack. If you a kid and you listening to this, just sell crack because this shit is ghetto. Sell crack, retire early, and don't answer any questions. Where do you work at? Why is that any of your business? Why is that the first thing y'all always trying to ask somebody? What do you do?
Also, I'm gonna just make this the last topic. What are your thoughts about Iran sending shots at Israel?
You reap what you motherfucking sow in this world. Let me tell you something. Iran, now, first of all, Ray, like, you've been in the military. You know, yes. Iran don't like America.
Right.
And they have they kind of a pretty good reason not to, because we kind of fucked shit up over there. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes, we did.
and it just so happens that the U.S. likes to send a lot of money to Israel, and it also just so happens that Israel is taking fucking land away from Arabs. So, bro, they like killed. You know what they did that because it would have killed like 3 birds with 1 motherfucking stone. It's like, yo, literally all of our enemies are here. They're right there. And Iran and fucking Israel is not that far. So it's like, oh, I may not be able. So Iran is like, you know what, America? I may not be able to touch you physically, but I can touch you indirectly. Invasion. You know what I'm saying? And now the U.S. is in a very interesting place because they could absolutely motherfucking retaliate, right? But now here's something that you also have to consider, and I think you would agree with me when you say this. So the one thing that the U.S. also has to consider is the fact that if they do something against Iran, bro, Iran has the advantage in the fact that not only can they touch Israel, but they can get a whole bunch of other people to touch Israel too. You feel what I'm saying? Now, Saudi Arabia is there, right? But at the same time, America needs them to keep the oil money coming. So Saudi Arabia, doing anything to Iran is going to, be costly. So what I believe is that Iran, they just getting their lick back. That's why nobody has a problem with it. You feel what I'm saying? Like people are like, Iran attacked. Have you seen anybody going crazy lately?
No, not really.
No, not really, because we don't give a fuck. Let them go crazy. As a matter of fact, some people were celebrating. I'm like, I hope they fucking bomb the shit out of them bitches. Fuck them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because we have been subject to witness genocide because these people want to steal land off of a problem that the British started, mind you. The British started that fucking issue. You know what I'm saying? So
goddamn British. If them It Man fucking movies have taught you anything, is the British is always starting shit.
Yeah, the British is to blame. Like, this is why I say just blame white people. I'll blame white people. I don't give a fuck. History is not me. History says it.
Yeah, history has definitely said it.
Nigga, and it's not just like, bro, it's not just black people. You ask you ask a whole bunch of other people who are not coons, then yeah, they'll tell you too. It's like, yeah, it is their fault. Like, what are we talking about here? And this is not even up for debate. You guys pollute the country more than anybody else. You guys pollute the earth more than anybody else. Like, when you went to all of these different colonies, they died off of contact. If I touch you and you start dying, I don't know, man. I think there's a message to be said here.
The motherfuckers didn't even know how to bathe before fucking meeting Africans. So,
bruh. And you want to know what? They swear up and down that it didn't happen that way, but it's like, bro, we literally have like,
there's real proof of that.
That like they wrote this shit down. They literally wrote down way back in the day that you niggas stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it got to that point.
Matter of fact, it's even if I'm correct, it's even in white people's history too, where like even the richest of the richest, they like take a shower like once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month. And imagine, and those are rich people. Imagine the peasants and the people that didn't. It was like, when did they shower?
And you want to know what their reasoning was?
That's why the Black Plague happened.
Yeah, you want to know what their reasoning was? It's because they said that they were already clean, so there was no need to shower.
Dirty ass
motherfuckers. And then that's why it don't surprise me when they were sitting there talking about, I don't wash my legs in the shower. I know. It's part of your motherfucking culture. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes, when we have these conversations and shit like that, like people need to understand this is because of history. It's not because niggas all of a sudden just wanting to attack people and do shit. These are all consequences of history because people refuse to learn from history. And one, people in particular refuse to learn from history. That's why they keep running into the same issues over and over and over again. You have the Great Depression, then you have the fucking .com bubble, then you have the Great Recession, and then you have COVID, which leads to another motherfucking recession. It's like these people never learn their fucking lesson. Just throughout history, it's just the same shit over and over and over and over again. It's like a perpetual loop of L's. 100-year L's. These people will take L's for 100 years and then sit in your face talking about we superior. Meanwhile, real quick, meanwhile, they go to a country like Vietnam and get absolutely stomped by some tree branches and bamboo sticks. I'm just saying.
Nina reminds you, I'm pretty sure, like, and I didn't want to bring this up, but I remember 4 years ago, I said, though, you know, and this was during COVID, we should really think about changing the way the voting works in this. And I'm pretty sure they did nothing to change that system. And I understand we're not in a pandemic no more. It's not going to be like a month until we figure out who the fuck the next president is going to be. But at the same time, can we just, like, you would have thought that after that fucking election, you would have said, hey, we really need to really look at how we fucking go about voting. And did nothing. They did nothing. And as Father said, it's just like we're just repeating ourselves in history. Even when it comes to this Great Depression and us going broke, another recession, even though we're not calling it a recession, but you could basically say it's a fucking recession. It's just like, yo, can we get someone to new in, or can we get some new ideas of how we work this country, because it's getting ridiculous and sickening. It's like we're really, like, in my opinion, we're looking at a fucking a trap that we know is a trap. I can see it's a trap, but I'm walking anyway into it. And instead of walking around, and it's just like, why do we keep walking into it? And then our answer is, I don't know. It's like, but you saw it. Yeah, I seen it. I did see it. But why are we walking into the same trap that got you in this particular last time? I don't know. So that my whole problem, obviously, if anybody understands, my whole problem in society is that we know what's fucking us up and we're not doing nothing to change about it. But I feel like, it's not that we don't have the answers. We have the fucking answers. No one wants to do anything about those, or no one wants to put those answers into fruition so we can, like, live better. Seems like everybody's just stuck with the old ways and some shit like that. And that's what I get sick of hearing. So, like, which is why I tell people I'm holding my own vote. I'm holding my votes. It's like, I don't, like, this is not a call out to boycott. It's not a call out to, like, this is me and my personal opinion. I'm holding my own vote because I'm still looking at, and I didn't mean to put this into a political thing, but I'm looking at two candidates that I'm not very fond of, and you want me to vote them too? I don't, no, I'm just going to hold my votes. And the whole thing was, like you said, and the worst part about this Iran and Israel shit is that America, we're going to put our fucking nose in it, and we're going to donate more money into it. And then, like, us as Americans, we're going to be like, hey, what about us? And you know what they're going to tell us? There's no money. But what about the fucking billions and billions of money you sending over to fucking Israel? And with other countries.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What money? What? Like, you know, your people over here, we're struggling too. You know, like, could you help us out? We can't just go, hey, y'all deal with that. We got our own problems to deal with. Just this once. They'll be fine.
Here's $750.
God damn. And that, like, look, and it's not that I don't have empathy for what's going on over there. I do, but at the same time, I would love for us to fix our own shit before we just go over there and start fixing other people's shit. All right. I can't repair a hole in your fucking wall where half of my house is destroyed.
And we have the money to fix it.
And I have the money to fix it, but yet
literally
here I am
right
giving
there.
it to you. And here I am giving it to you. Now I don't have money to fix my half of the fucking house. Yeah. And then like it's just like, oh, we'll be fine. It's like, and then here I am. It's like it's come winter time, and I'm fucking freezing to death because half my fucking house is like that's been my problem with the fucking government and all that other stuff. But any last words before we get to our final thoughts?
Yeah, and then they tell you some stupid shit like, bro, you probably just should have worked harder.
Yeah, maybe you should work harder.
I'm like, y'all trying to get shot. Like, it's getting to a point now. I'm gonna start shooting niggas that tell me that. I'm gonna shoot you straight in your fucking kneecap.
Yeah, this YouTuber said, because he was talking about the kids in the Baltimore and they was robbing people. It was like, you get the black people you deserve because you're not doing anything to fix their fucking livelihoods and nothing like that. So now you get these niggas that's robbing you and all that other stuff, and like it's like they're trying to do stuff good, but like they have to go to this shit, and it's just like, man, maybe they should work harder. I was like, oh, what job? What person has 3 jobs and still have to survive? Whether you have this one job, you set for life. How the fuck does that happen? Oh, maybe you should have fucking worked harder. Give me the gun. Give me.
Bow, 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 bow.
And like it's gonna be like when the lower class is just gonna start roughing niggas up, just so not just like ourselves, like Beverly Hills or some shit like that. When they start, because that's what y'all really care about. It's just like it's cool when we fuck each other up, but when we fuck each other, oh no, it's the system, and we attack the system. That's when y'all gonna get worried and all that other stuff. Then y'all call the National Guard and shit. Right? Y'all know what's going on. That's why the whole pandemic shit. Y'all had National Guards everywhere because we knew we was gonna be fucking other people's places up and shit. And everybody had the attitude like, I don't fucking care no more. It's like I don't care. I know this could, like we don't own this shit. They got insurance. They can build it back up. I don't fucking care. And I know there's some people that do care because it does have medicine for the society, but at the same time, it's like people are frustrated. So it's just like, can we? And that's all I ask for is, can we fix our own problems before we start fixing others? And that's where I'm gonna leave it at. Any last words before we get into our final thoughts?
You rebut yourself. So Iran, I mean, I'm going to be looking at the situation, but Iran, doing what they did against Israel, nobody should be motherfucking surprised because they've had it coming for a long time now. Nothing surprising about that.
All right. With that being said, we are going to our final thoughts. Dion, if you are there, do you have any final thoughts? And be mindful that you are muted. So, last call for Dion. All right. Father, it is on you.
Bruh. Yo, Ray, for my final thoughts, like, nigga, we need to build wealth, nigga. Because this shit is ghetto. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you fucking working a regular job. Because I think you're much more than that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now we at a point like we gotta be real intentional about like building some type of wealth. And when I say that, I don't mean just having a whole shit ton of money, but like the holistic wealth, like being healthy, having a whole bunch of good relationships, working on shit that actually has meaning. You know what I'm saying? And like with all of that shit, the money comes naturally. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like what I've come to realize. It's like, yo, you could make money just by being in a position to receive it instead of getting a job like they tell us to do and working that motherfucking job. Now, like back then, it was a way to build wealth. So they did that and they were rewarded for it, right? Not everybody, but a whole bunch of people were rewarded for, being loyal to that one job. But now we at a point now where niggas, in order to get a regular job, they got to go through like 3, 4, 5 interviews for one job. When it used to be one interview, they see if they like you or not, they see if you fit. Now
And
niggas
it's
is
an
having
entry
to
level
do,
fucking job.
yeah, and it'd be an entry level fucking job that pays like 55K, and you got to do 3, 4 round interviews. Bro, it got to a point where I was watching all this shit, and I was like, bro, it's not like I'm giving up, but I literally see no point in putting myself through any of this. I don't see a point because even if I do go through all of this, you could just lay my ass off at any time you want to. You feeling what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, there's literally no point. I don't see a point in any of this shit, like at all. So like, it's gotten to a point people ask me, where do you work at, or like what you doing with yourself and shit like that. And I'm like, nigga, I'm just living life. I'm raw dogging life right now. You feel what I'm saying? Because when I did try to make something of myself, and Ray, you were my witness this entire time. When I did try to make something of myself, y'all said, fuck you.
Yep.
So there's no point. And then, people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, man, you just a bitch. You just giving up. Why you giving up? You're not trying to put in all that work. You got to hustle. You got to grind. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at your situation and I'm like, my nigga, all that needs to happen is another COVID situation and you're going to cry. Because the very same niggas that were sitting there talking shit were the same ones that were having mental health issues when they were locked the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to hear it. These people are fucking fragile like paper. That's why they accumulate dollars so much. You are what you eat, right? Fragile like paper, might as well have a whole bunch of it in your fucking wallet. It's like, bruh, I'm getting to a point now. I'm building wealth, nigga. I'm about to start looking into land. You know what I'm saying? Ray, if I could tell you one thing, invest in African land, bro. If you got some land in Africa, you will be set for life. I promise you. Especially if it's fertile land where you can grow a whole bunch of crops and shit like that, get that shit. Because that shit, like, bro, imagine imagine some shit happens. You go to your land in Africa and there's food right there because you just let it rock. You didn't do no motherfucking stupid ass capitalist shit. You just bought some land and you took care of the land, and then the land literally blesses you with all the food and water you could ever want. That's wealth, nigga.
You know what's funny? And not to cut you, what's funny? I just watched a TikTok of this woman in Atlanta. She has a bee. She's a beekeeper, and I guess there was a lab that fucking exploded or some shit like that, or it was like a fire that exploded, and it's affected the bees out there. That the bees are fucking dying.
Yep.
And if anybody understands what that sentence means, that is a fucking problem. We need bees literally to survive.
This is a fact.
Planet. If it's the fact that our bees are fucking dying, we really should be looking into that. But go ahead, Father.
But yeah, that's like kind of, like my final thoughts. I just want to see my people win. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of, like, bro, we already done put in the work. So when they sit there talking about they all niggas don't work hard enough, just ignore that shit because they on some stupid fucking out of touch bullshit. But like, I guess, the one of the main things is it takes money to make money, right? And we already spending a lot of our money just trying to fucking get by, trying to pay our bills. And what I'm noticing is a lot of us are going broke handling our responsibilities and doing what we're supposed to do. So it just goes to show you that we're feeding into a system that's trying to kill us instead of take care of us. So, and I don't want that for nobody anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of people that put in the work getting fucking what's it called? Underpaid. Because we got a whole bunch of friends that we could talk about. These people are so much like these people should be making 160K, 175K, and they're getting lowballed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that no more. So my focus is on building wealth. I'm just trying to build as much wealth as I can, and I'm going to do it the holistic way. You know what I'm saying? So that way, when the money does start coming in, shit, it's kind of like this. It's gonna get to a point where I'm gonna have the money, and it's never gonna be an issue because the wealth has already been put into all the endeavors that I put in. So it sustains itself. You know what I'm saying? It appreciates in value, not because it makes a whole bunch of profit, but because it is quality. It's because it's something that you have to spend good money in order to really take full advantage of. And what better way is that than to become a person who attracts that in the motherfucking first place? So, that's my final thoughts. It's time to build wealth. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of having stupid ass motherfucking conversations about whether people are asking what you bring to the table. I'm tired of this notion that because niggas is trying, they can't date. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the worst things that's ever come out of this fucking. Because we've heard conversations like that where it's just you got a whole bunch of hating ass men and hating ass women sitting there shitting on people that are actually legitimately trying to make something of themselves, and because they don't have it, they get judged. I hate that shit. So we got to build wealth now.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Very, very well said. With that being said, and this goes out to my homegirl who I love, and then again, this is not to bash you, and and it's not even about her. It's just that she shows me people that I know that are grifters, and y'all seen these TikTok videos of people like Yada Awakening, and they say these things that it sounds good to the ear, and it sounds like they all high and body and shit, and come to find out they're fucking scammers, and they fucking have domestic violence abusers or some shit like that, or all these grifted ass people that just say stuff just to take your money. I want people to understand, like, just because it sounds good doesn't mean that it is good or they are good people. I want you to before you see somebody, and I do this with everybody before.
Live streaming is on.
Anyway, I do this with everybody. Just because they say some knowledgeable shit or they say some shit that is maybe appealing to the ears, and then do some research on the people, because you may find out that those people are either, like I said, domestic violence abusers, they're scammers, or they're just trying to get your money, and they don't really mean what the fuck they say. All right, there's been a lot of that. You see the Derek Jacksons, I guess Andrew Tate, motherfucking Yada's Awakening is a new one, and come to find out, he's talking about you should spoil your woman. Come to find out, this nigga used to hit his woman all the fucking time, and all that other stuff. And I keep trying, and I keep telling people to look these people up, because they're not half of these people are not who they say they are. They just want your money. So that goes to anybody. It's not just my homegirl, and God bless her, because she's a good woman, but sometimes it's just I feel like you're just going to get misled by someone that's a snake oil, what's it, a snake oil salesman or something like that. Yeah. And you really got to watch for those, because they're really not after your intention. They're really after your money or after your resources. Let's just say, for a better example, your resources. And a lot of people will manipulate you and saying this shit is the gospel or the good gospel. But you really got to break it down to dissect, and then you got to really look at the people, see who they really fucking are. Because I know Fresh and Fit was one point everybody was talking about. And then when you dig deeper, you find out these are just two corny ass dudes that don't even like black people. It's just or Derek Jackson, motherfucker, always pandering to women. Come to find out, this nigga been cheating on his wife. And like I said, and other people like y'all in the weekend. So please, and like I said, I do this to people that I do like too. like if they say something that's appealing to you, look them up and see if they're legitimate. And before you start following them, start speaking their gospel. Because I kind of like, because you know the old saying, even a dead squirrel, even a dead clock is right twice a day. And sometimes, like a lot of people, they'll say stuff, but if you really like break down like who the fuck they are, they're really not who they say they are. So that is my final thoughts on that. I would like to thank the panel for jumping on as usual. I would like to thank all y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is